Almost half of us reach retirement age without enough money to get by. We'll tell you what we can be doing now to prepare for later on.
And as the Madison School District welcomes its first all-women school board, we're hearing how those women want to make change.
From the Channel3000.com Alert Center, this is News 3 Now This Morning.
Good morning and welcome to News 3 Now This Morning on this Monday, April 8th. And if you need some good news to start out your week, the weather is where we're going to start.
Hattie's got it.
Oh, best day, hands down, so far this year. We should see 70 degrees. That'll be the warmest day so far this year. Take a live look, though, in Platteville this morning. This is the Queen Bee Radio Sky Cam. Skies are clear there, but in Platteville, you're probably not seeing that just yet. There's a lot of fog. Visibility is near zero in Platteville and Mineral Point. It's about a quarter of a mile through the Wisconsin River Valley. Also some fog developing now in Camp Douglas. Visibility is down a little bit here in Madison, but we're not dealing with that thick fog just yet. Take a look at our current temperatures, still dropping. When we came into work, it was still in the 50s, guys.
Yeah, it was.
Down to 45 right now, but that's still pretty nice. 48 in Janesville, 42 in the Dells. We're going to see a nice warm up today. Once that fog lifts in southwestern Wisconsin, you'll see temperatures climb quickly. We should top right around 70 degrees with a southwesterly wind increasing to 10 to 20 miles per hour. So a beautiful day ahead. Your first alert traffic maps early this morning will show you what's happening on area roads. It is starting to get a little busier on Verona Road as you approach the Beltline this morning. Some brake lights on Stoughton Road near the Beltline as well. A little bit of a slowdown right around Park Street. No major delays just yet, though. I looked around the area. There aren't any accidents either. So you're still going at posted speeds and all those major routes into Madison.
This is the kind of weather that has me ready to dust off the old kayak.
I think so today, but then stay tuned because we have sort of all the seasons in the forecast this week alone.
Dust off the kayak, then put it right back in the storage. All right, thank you, Addie.
You're welcome.
Your time right now is 6:02, and more than 3/4 of Americans are at least somewhat concerned that they won't have enough money for retirement.
Yeah, there are some easy ways, though, for you to maximize your savings. Our Josh Spreiter has tips from a local financial expert this morning. Good morning, Josh.
Good morning. So yeah, 2 in 5 of us won't have the money we need to retire.
Wow.
So if you've been putting the topic off, now is the time. It's actually National Retirement Planning Week. So no matter how old you are, this applies to you. We finally got some good news, too, for Social Security this year. In 2019, people are receiving a 2.8% increase in their Social Security benefits. That's the first increase since 2012 as we try to catch up with inflation. But you shouldn't be relying on that Social Security, though. Local financial expert Mark Farnan says you should be putting at least 10 to 15% of your take-home pay into savings, maximizing your 401k plan right away when you enter the workforce, and taking advantage of investment opportunities like Roth IRAs.
The Roth IRA money has already been taxed. You'll put the money into the account and it will grow tax-free because there'll be no taxes due on it each year as it grows. And then when you go to take the money out, it will also be tax-free.
Farnan says that's a good thing for you to know going forward because if taxes were to go up, which he says they likely will over time to pay off the country's debt, that wouldn't affect your savings there. Now, as far as when you can retire, Farnan says it's a matter of timing. You are eligible at 62 to take your Social Security benefits if you need to or want to, but you can take them all the way to 70. The longer you wait, the more benefits are going to be for you. Farnan says financial planners can help you figure out what's best for you and your family, and I think that's a big takeaway this morning, ladies, is everyone's different, everyone's earnings are different, everyone's plans are different, so it's just kind of good to kind of lay that out. But it's like you think of no matter how old you are, there's something for you to be doing right now, and I think that's something that you can all, anything that you can do now is going to help you out later down the road.
And at least be informed about what your plan looks like. Talk to the HR rep in your company. I know we just recently did that and got some advice, so
it's a hard thing to talk about.
It is.
People don't like talking
very
about
confusing
finance.
sometimes.
He said it's as easy as 50 or $100 a month. You start there and then you just keep increasing it over time, and it's going to help you out in the long run so you're not shorted off later in life.
All right,
Good
Josh,
tips.
great advice. Thank you so much.
You bet.
New this morning, officers are asking for your help finding an elderly man who's missing from northern Wisconsin. There's a silver alert out for 75-year-old Earl Moore. He was last seen up in Marquette, Michigan in the UP on Friday around 4 p.m., but he lives in Marinette, Wisconsin, about 3 hours northeast of Madison. He's around 6 feet tall and 200 pounds with white hair and brown eyes. There's a picture of him right there. He may be driving a 2007 silver Chevy HHR with Wisconsin license plates ABW 8418. Anyone with information is asked to call the number right there on your screen. That's 715-732-7627.
We do expect an update from Madison firefighters today as they look into what caused an East Side deli fire last night. Now, crews responded to the Stoltze's Deli on Atwood Avenue around 8:30. There are no sprinklers inside of the building because of how old it is. However, firefighters were able to get there in just 4 minutes, so the fire was mostly contained to the kitchen. There is, however, significant damage there. The restaurant was closed at the time, so no one was hurt. There's no word on when the deli will be back open.
More local news now. For the first time in Madison schools history, the school board will soon be entirely women after 3 more were elected last week. Chris Carusi, Ollie Muldrow, and Ananda Marilli all beat out their male challengers for their seats on the school board. This will be the first time all board seats will be held by women. Muldrow told us it's a cool change to be a part of.
There was, a significant portion of history where our school board was all men or majority men. And I think that we're demonstrating to young people that you can shift those narratives, that you can invite diverse groups of people to the table, and that when you change who's at the table, you change the way things are done.
Some serious girl power there. All 3 women have daughters of their own, and they're hoping to make changes that younger generations will notice, including things like fewer students in a classroom, more opportunities in arts, and more support for teachers. They also hope to close the achievement gap among Madison students.
Cyclists across the state could see more work on trails if the governor's budget passes. Under that plan, local governments would once again be allowed to seize private property to be used for bike and recreational trails. Last session, Republican lawmakers passed a line in the budget that prohibited local governments and state agencies from using eminent domain powers to establish or extend bike trails, recreational paths, and sidewalks. Cyclists say that has slowed down work on several bike trails around the state.
There is a new report out that says a number of Wisconsin's bridges are in poor or worse condition. According to the American Road and Transportation Builders Association, last year 1,054 bridges in the state were classified as structurally deficient. That's about 7.5% of Wisconsin's bridges, and it's up from 1,043 in 2014. 35 of those bridges are part of the interstate system. Some of the top most traveled structurally deficient bridges are in our area. That includes in places like Dane County, Rock, Columbia, Greene, Iowa, and Richland counties.
Hunters, environmentalists, and anyone who wants to share their thoughts on conservation and wildlife management in the state can do so today. Spring hearings are scheduled in every county across the state today. The public's welcome to come out and comment on proposed rule changes, including new strategies for black bear population management and fines for unlawfully killing or wounding a deer. All of those meetings start at 7 o'clock tonight. The one in Dane County will take place at the Monona Grove High School auditorium. You can find the other locations by searching Spring Hearings on the DNR's website.
The government is stepping up to help any Wisconsin farmers who might be dealing with damage from all the winter weather we saw earlier this year. The USDA is offering up something called a physical loss loan, which is basically low-interest help for farmers who might have lost property to any winter storms this year. That could be anything from buildings to livestock, but it has to have happened between January 27th and March 2nd. If you'd like to apply for aid or you know someone who would, you do have some time. Applications are due back to the USDA by the end of November. All right, 6:08 your time now. Women who learn computer science in high school are 10 times more likely to study it in college. And if your daughter's school, like many districts, doesn't offer those programs, there's a free club for her to try out in Platteville. We're talking with the professor who leads those efforts next.
Plus, you're going to want to include an afternoon walk, a run, a bike ride, anything outside in your schedule today. Hattie's looking at the warmest day of the year so far before we dive right back into winter. Your full forecast is next on News 3 Now this morning.
Good morning from the Hattie-O patio. We have a pretty nice day coming up today. Sunshine and temperatures right around 70 degrees. It is sort of the start of severe weather season, though. The National Weather Service has been conducting classes in the area, and there are two happening today. One this afternoon in Portage from 1 to 3, another one this evening in Columbus from 6:30 to 8:30 p.m. And again, these classes are free and open to the public. A great chance to learn some more about severe weather and also potentially sign up to be a weather spotter for the National Weather Service. Always helps to have more eyes on the sky in the area. And it is Severe Weather Awareness Week here in southern Wisconsin. We'll be talking about severe weather threats all week. Here's the definition of a severe thunderstorm. Many people might be confused, thinking that lightning or even heavy rain indicates a severe thunderstorm, but that is not the case. There are specific parameters. The thunderstorm must be producing hail at least an inch in diameter or larger, or straight line winds stronger than 58 miles per hour, or the potential of a tornado. That doesn't have to be all three. It could be just any one of those things for it to be declared a severe thunderstorm. And when we are looking at the potential for severe weather, the National Weather Service will first issue a watch. That's when conditions are favorable. Now, this typically comes about 4 to 6 hours before any severe weather develops in the area to give you a heads up that we are watching the weather for the potential for severe weather. Now, a warning is issued when severe weather is occurring or imminent in the area. And when you see a warning come out, that's the time that you need to seek shelter in your safe spot. Now, here's a look at our high temperature trend. This week, specifically today, it's going to feel very much like summer outside with temperatures right around 70. No severe weather is expected today, but we are watching a storm for the middle of the week that will drop temperatures quite a bit by Wednesday. Until then, enjoy the sunshine. We have clear skies across southern Wisconsin right now. Take a closer look, though, at the area, and we'll show you what's happening. Temperatures are in the 40s. 42 in the Dells, 44 in Platteville, and 45 in Madison. There is some fog, though, through southwestern Wisconsin. Visibility is near zero, so plan a little extra time to get to your destination if you're in Iowa County and Mineral Point, or areas like Platteville and parts of Grant County. There is some pretty thick fog there. Winds are very light right now. They will be increasing from the southwest today, but that will just help us warm up. As we go through the afternoon, temperatures will climb to around 70 in most locations today. A front moves through the area tonight, bringing a slight chance for a little bit of rain, but most areas should stay dry. Our best chance for precipitation comes midweek. We're looking at highs only in the 30s on Wednesday with rain and snow in the forecast. That messy mix continues into Thursday. It'll all come to an end on Friday. Let's get you up to date, though, with your traffic conditions this morning. Josh Tim has all the details. Good morning, Josh.
Yeah, it is a quiet start on the Beltline this morning. So far, nothing to slow you down in either direction. Looking at some other roads here in Dane County, there is some fog moving in here in southern Wisconsin. Just make sure you flip on those headlights through the commute. And there are some brake lights on Verona Road approaching the Beltline ramps. No delays showing up downtown on campus. Things will start to pick up over the next hour or so. And other main routes coming into the city, moving at the usual speeds with no major crashes or issues. Your first alert traffic, I'm Josh Tim.
Thank you, Josh, and thank you, Hattie. So there is an effort in Platteville to get more girls into careers with computers.
We love this. Whether it's building a website, an app, or a robot, there's a free club where your daughter can learn it all. UW Platteville computer science professor Donna Gavin, who runs the program, is joining us this morning. Good morning.
Good morning.
We're so excited to talk about this. I kind of want to start with how you started. How did you get into this idea in the first place?
For the Girls Who Code Club, you
Yeah.
mean? Well, actually, a couple of years ago, I was sent an email from the dean of the college saying, "Hey, this is a thing, and it looks kind of cool." And it was basically just a one-liner. So I looked into it and I thought, yeah, this would be really great for this area, especially since it's so rural. And then I looked into it. It's a free program that anyone can start, and it's for girls that are between 6th and 12th grade. And that's really how I started it.
Did you notice that there was a lack of girls in coding in that area?
Oh yeah, so I've been teaching at UW Platteville for 22 years, and we've always had low numbers. It's getting a little better. So statistically wise, this spring there was about 6% women in our computer science major and 7% in our software engineering major. So it's like in a classroom of 30, there might be 1 or 2 girls, you know. So, and it's really kind of important for women to feel like they belong to a group. And when you're in a classroom and you're the only one there and you're the only woman, you feel like you're set apart. And it's getting better. Fall of 14, we were at 6.5 and 3.3%. So it is getting better, but it's really slow. It's not moving fast enough.
And so the goal here, I'm assuming, is to get them started young and catch them at a younger age.
Yeah, so there are some stereotypes out there about coding and boys that are gamers and that are not necessarily a positive image that a girl might think. Girls tend to want to help people.
Yeah.
Right? And so they want to be able to see, oh, I want to be in a field where I can help people. And then they see coding and they don't necessarily see the connection. Well, how can I use coding to help people? So the club is one of my goals is to try and help them make that connection.
I feel like this might go beyond coding, too, to break down stereotypes and give these girls confidence in doing something different.
Yes, it is all about confidence and a term called self-efficacy, where you think that you, it's like your ability or your, how well you think you can do something.
Sure.
And if you don't think you can do something well, then it kind of all breaks down, you know, like you're trying to do a math problem and you think, oh, well, I'm bad at math. And then you don't even try.
Right.
You know, in the engineering and math STEM areas, it's all about the growth mindset, where it's going to be hard. And when you have a new challenge, you might not necessarily know how to do it now, but you think, well, I'll learn the skill that I need to know how to do it.
And we have about 15 seconds left, but just quickly, how can people get involved? I mean, there's this exciting new partnership with Amazon, too. That's really cool.
So the Amazon Future Engineers, basically, it's like a pipeline that helps girls. If they decide they want to be computer scientists, they can apply for a scholarship. They get an automatic internship. But companies can help by sponsoring Girls Who Codes clubs, even just coming to talk and give a presentation about women in tech.
That's great.
Parents can help by encouraging their daughters to tinker and take things apart and put them back together.
Yeah.
You know? Schools can help by fostering an area where girls feel like they're supported. You know, there's a lot of things people can do.
Donna, what a cool program. Thank you so much for coming on and talking with us about it.
Thank you so much.
It's nice to meet you. All right, researchers in Madison are looking into whether disinfecting our water is doing more harm than good. That story's after the forecast, coming up right here on News 3 Now this morning. Stay with us.
Welcome back. This week is Wisconsin's Severe Weather Awareness Week, and it's a good reminder for you and your family to practice what to do in those emergencies.
That's right. According to the National Weather Service, Wisconsin has an average of 23 tornadoes each year. And last year, we had the second largest tornado outbreak in state history. 19 tornadoes moved through at the end of August. Hattie, I know we talk about this every year, but 23 tornadoes a year, it just seems like a bigger number than I ever remember happening.
It's a lot,
yeah.
And they can happen any time of the day, any part of the state, so you need to be aware, and the best time is now, really before severe weather season gets underway, to start to make some of those preparations. Gather up some supplies and make a severe weather kit in your house or in your car or at work. It includes batteries, flashlight, water, weather radio, first aid, and extra medication, because if the power goes out and you're not able to get anything for a couple of days, you want to make sure that you have the supplies that you need. Determine the safest place also that you should be during severe weather in work and at home. A lot of times we think about where we would go when we're at home, but severe weather doesn't always strike when you're at home. So keep that in mind. Plan ahead this week. Look where you should be at your workplace or any location that you might be. Secure outdoor objects ahead of severe weather if you have the time, and also stay alert for severe weather updates. Now, this week with Severe Weather Awareness Week, we do have a statewide tornado drill scheduled for Thursday. If there is severe weather possible on Thursday, the test will be postponed until Friday. The National Weather Service will make the call on April 12th. At 1 o'clock, there is a test tornado watch that will be issued on Thursday. 1:45, it's a test warning, so you can see if you're able to get the warnings and you're prepared. 2 o'clock, that test ends, and then there's another one at 6:45, so you can test hopefully at home and at work on those days. So just a couple of things to keep in mind as we prepare for severe weather season. Now, no severe weather in the forecast for today, but we do have some fog this morning. Visibility is running less than a mile across parts of southwestern Wisconsin. We're looking at visibility 0 in Mineral Point. Some improvement in Platteville, but not much. Still a quarter-mile visibility there. Quarter of a mile as well through the Wisconsin River Valley. Take a look at your bus stop weather forecast for today. It's going to be a beautiful day. You definitely don't need the thick layers today. Temperatures starting in the 40s, climbing to highs right around 70 later on this afternoon. Lots of sunshine and a southwesterly wind expected today. Have a wonderful day.
Thank you very much, Hattie. We appreciate it. So UW-Madison professors are doing some research that could have significant implications on the water we drink here in Wisconsin. Those researchers are studying what happens when disinfectants in our water actually create more problems for your health. They say most utilities in the state and across the country use chlorine to disinfect water, but that could result in the creation of byproducts like chloroform, which can cause cancer. This is particularly interesting right now since Governor Evers declared 2019 the year of clean drinking water. A task force has been created at the Capitol as well to address well contamination in parts of southwestern Wisconsin.
Almost 6:26 your time now. Still ahead on News 3 Now this morning. Malls across Wisconsin are shifting their focus to try and stay in business.
And parents living in Columbus want both the superintendent and the school board president out of their positions. We will share their laundry list of concerns next on News 3 Now this morning.
The Catholic Diocese of Green Bay is adding another priest to the list of those accused of sexually abusing a child.
And there's a reminder this week about the importance of planning for your retirement. We'll share what the experts are recommending for budgeting for the future.
From the Channel3000.com Alert Center, this is News 3 Now this morning.
Good morning and welcome to the final half hour of News 3 Now this morning. It is Monday, April 8th. It is almost 6:30. And boy, oh boy, we are in for a really nice day weather-wise.
Yes, we are. I didn't wear a jacket coming in at 2:30 this morning, Hads. Do you have a jacket on out on the weather patio?
I do, but it's a spring jacket today. So excited to shed a layer. You definitely don't need the thick layers today. We have temperatures that'll top right around 70 degrees this afternoon. Let's take a look, though, at a couple of sky cam shots in the area. Here's our WISC-TV sky cam looking to the west of the station, and you can see a little bit of fog developing in the low spots here on the west side of town. I'm definitely seeing a bit of fog here on the hill as well. And in Platteville, we're still seeing some foggy conditions there. It's a fairly shallow band of clouds that has developed, so once the sun gets a little higher in the sky, it will eat away at that fog. Visibility, though, is still near zero in Mineral Point, just a quarter of a mile in Platteville, Boscobel, and Lone Rock, eighth of a mile in Camp Douglas. So there definitely is some pretty thick fog across the region. Our temperatures are in the 40s, though, not terribly cold this morning, and will climb from there. High temperatures will reach 70 degrees this afternoon. It'll be the warmest day so far this year. Southwesterly winds will be increasing just a little bit, though, today. Your first alert traffic maps this morning show you that there are some delays starting to show up on Stoughton Road right around the Beltline. No other slowdowns, though, to report just yet. No accidents in the area, so you're still going at posted speeds as you head into Madison. Just be aware of the potential for some fog this morning. That may slow you down a little bit.
Yeah, we just had our guest coming in from Platteville, Hattie, and she just said the roads were
there's a look
really rough out there.
Yeah, you know, Platteville had visibility right around a zero for a short time this morning, so I would definitely plan a little extra time there.
Well, the fog does look
very pretty.
Ominously beautiful.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. We have a nice forecast coming up. Won't last long.
All right. Thank you, Hattie.
You're welcome.
We start this half hour in Green Bay, where the Catholic Diocese is releasing the name of another priest its leaders say sexually abused a minor. On Thursday, the diocese updated its list to include Raymond Hetpas. He allegedly abused a minor back in 1964 while serving at St. Mary's Catholic Church in De Pere. The diocese says the allegation came out after his death in 2000. This brings the total number of priests with confirmed allegations against them to 47. Only 15 of those priests are still alive.
Parents in Columbus will be at tonight's school board meeting calling for the board president and the superintendent to resign. Those parents will present a petition tonight saying they're concerned about their students' safety, problems with the curriculum, inadequate facilities, and poor communication with families. According to those parents, more than 20 teachers have left that district for other jobs over the past couple years, including the high school principal who left last month. That meeting starts at 7 o'clock tonight at the Columbus City Hall. All right, it is 6:32 right now, and 2 of every 5 Americans will retire broke. There are things we can all be doing, though, to be building up our bank accounts.
And there's an initiative happening this week to help set us up for success down the road. Our Josh Spreiter talked to a local financial expert and joins us with what we all could learn. Good morning, Josh.
Isn't that crazy? 40% of us, very startling.
Yeah.
So we live in this time of hashtag treat yourself, right? But experts say we need to be careful about treating ourselves too much in our younger years, and stressing ourselves out down the road. Now, young people have the most advantage right now because they, of course, have a longer time to save. Local financial expert Mark Farnan says you should be participating in a 401k plan as soon as you can, maximizing whatever match your company will do. Be sure to take advantage of easy investment opportunities like Roth IRAs, placing even $50 or $100 in there every month. And finally, have a separate savings account where you're consistently putting about 10 to 15% of your take-home pay. Remember, all of this should be done before you pay the bills. Farnan says you need to trust that you'll have enough money left over to pay your other obligations.
Most people do it just the opposite. They pay all their bills, which we need to do, and then they say, when I've paid all my bills, whatever's left over, I'll put something in the bank. But when you do it that way, there's never anything left over. It's all gone.
Farnan says ideally you should have about 3 to 6 months of money saved up to make it in the case of a layoff or if you can't work because of an injury or something alike. The more you save when you're younger, the more you'll be able to do when you're retired. Farnan says he often sees people shorted later in life and financially in trouble because they didn't save enough early on. Now, if you're concerned about Social Security not being there by the time you retire, Farnan says he can't see the government taking that away, though the age may be a couple years later than it is right now. So anything that you can do to couple in with that Social Security is going to help you out in the long run. And it's really easy. I mean, you have a lot of different options, but you just start, like you said, 50 or $100 a month, and you can kind of increase it throughout time.
I think that's where people get, at least I get a little overwhelmed, is all of the options out there and knowing which one is best for me now, best for me later. So
and everyone's different.
Yeah,
that's the thing
exactly.
Too. That's why he recommends a lot of times it is good to see a financial planner to actually figure out what's good for you and your family.
Talking to an expert. We don't know what we're talking about until you go and actually
we
talk
like to think we know, right?
Yeah.
But that's not the case.
Thanks for revealing that to the world there, Leah. I really appreciate it.
Be honest. 6:35 your time now. As malls across the state, including here in Madison, continue to see stores shutter, they're turning their focus from shopping to experiences to help them stay afloat. Brookfield Square Mall is adding a movie theater / tavern and a whirly-ball game venue by the end of the year. That mall has struggled since losing Sears and Boston store last year. Here in Madison, the movie theater Brewery Flick's Brewhouse opened last year next to Easttown. National retail researchers say those efforts might help urban malls recover, but rural malls will likely continue to struggle. Those researchers say adding things like housing and even medical centers to malls could help make the difference. In other news this morning, Illinois is now the 11th state to raise the legal age for buying tobacco products from 18 to 21. Governor J.B. Pritzker signed the Tobacco 21 bill into law yesterday. He said the health of the next generation is more important than the economic benefit of tobacco sales to young people. The move comes after the city of Chicago raised the legal age first. Here in Wisconsin, you still have to be 18 to buy tobacco products.
Packers head coach Matt LaFleur will lead his first team meeting of the offseason this morning. The State Journal reports he's been thinking about what he will say today since he accepted the job with the Packers. During an ESPN Wisconsin interview back in January, LaFleur said it's important to set the expectations for how the organization and team both want to operate. His main goal is to be authentic and to get the Pack excited about playing some football. This is the third straight season LaFleur has been part of a new coaching staff, but it's the first time that he's leading one.
All right, to basketball now. For only the 5th time in franchise history, the Milwaukee Bucks reached 60 wins after beating the Hawks last night. The last time they hit that number in the regular season was in 1981. Giannis was back in it, scoring 30 points after sitting Saturday night out with a sore calf. Bucks win 115-107. Wednesday is the last regular season home game against the Oklahoma City Thunder. And to college hoops, the men's NCAA tournament comes to an end tonight. Texas Tech is going to face top seed Virginia. The Cavaliers led by head coach Tony Bennett. That's the former UW Green Bay standout and the son of Dick Bennett, who coached the Badgers from 1995 until 2001. Tip-off is right here on News 3 Now at 8:20 tonight.
And to Miller Park we go. The Brewers are off to a strong start, sitting first in the NL Central, bouncing back from a 14-8 loss against the Cubs on Saturday. Christian Yelich starting things off yesterday with a 2-run homer, his 100th of his career. Not too shabby. Then in the 3rd inning, Travis Shaw sends one to right field. That brings Lorenzo Cain home. And then fast forward to the 6th, Willie Contreras has a 2-run homer himself, and then Josh Hader holds off the Cubs with an 8-out save. Brewers take the series with a 4-2 win yesterday. They now head to LA to take on the Angels. Game 1 of that series starts just after 9 o'clock tonight.
6:38 your time now. Families in Oregon have a chance to share ideas about different activities they'd like to see at a new library location.
More local news is straight ahead right here on News 3 Now this morning. All right, wanted to share this My News 3 morning picture from Kevin. This he called a frozen rainbow in Argyle. Today, no frozen rainbows out there, but unfortunately later this week, perhaps.
Might be seeing more.
So yeah, something like it. So
hey, you know, we'll get through it if Kevin's going to take some more lovely pictures of that cold weather.
Just keep the winter coat handy.
Yeah, thanks for sharing, Kevin. What does your morning look like? Take a picture, post it on our Facebook page or on Twitter, and use the hashtag MyNews3Morning so Danica and I can find and share our favorites right here on the program.
So it has been a long time since we've seen a high of 70 degrees, so make sure you take advantage of today because rain, even snow chances are back starting later this week. Hattie has all the details coming up.
But first, it's a very sunny and warm April 8th. We want to say happy birthday to Micah, Wesley, and all the kids turning 3 today. Have a great one, and thanks so much for celebrating with us here on News 3 Now this morning.
Good morning from the News 3 First Alert Weather Center. Here's a look at a live view outside from the Capitol. The Edgewater Sky Cam, great start here in Madison. We have a beautiful forecast coming up as well. This is the time of year that we typically see our first 70-degree day. In fact, here in Madison, typically occurs on April 8th. That's today, and we could see 70 degrees later on this afternoon. My forecast has a high of 70. That's well above the normal of 54, but watch what happens through the week. By Wednesday, we're looking at highs only in the upper 30s, and then we stay a little bit below normal right through the end of the week, getting back closer to normal as we head into next week. Well, there's a pretty big storm system moving in on Wednesday, and it is likely going to bring a mix of precipitation. Here's by 5 p.m. on Wednesday. You can see snow, also a mix changing to rain south of the state line late on Wednesday. This precipitation and storm system will be a rather slow-moving one, so we still keep the precipitation in the area on Thursday.
Most areas will transition over to all rain by Thursday afternoon, but at night it cools down again Thursday night into Friday, and we could see some wraparound light snow across southern Wisconsin through the day on Friday as colder air continues to move into the area. Now, amounts a little tough to predict this early out, but some of the forecast models are predicting a pretty big storm system for northwest Wisconsin into southern parts of Minnesota, where they could see 8+ inches of snow accumulation with this spring storm. Here in southern Wisconsin, it's a little bit warmer. We're not looking at as high of snow accumulation, but we definitely could see some snowflakes. Liquid precipitation will be on the high side as well, so rivers and streams, those levels will continue to rise with that storm this week. No precipitation, though, in the forecast through the day today. We're looking at dry conditions across southern Wisconsin, a little bit of cloud cover to the north and west, but all the precipitation well off to our north and west. Here's a look at our temperatures this morning. 45 here in Madison, 48 in Janesville. In the Dells, it's 44, as well as Boscoville this morning. Prairie du Chien now dropping to 40 degrees, so getting a little cooler there. Fog has been an issue for southwestern Wisconsin, and unfortunately visibility back down to 0 in Platteville, still 0 in Mineral Point. Thick fog through the Wisconsin River Valley as well. Your future track forecast model, though, once that fog lifts today, we have a pretty quick warm up into the 60s by lunchtime, topping right around 70 degrees this afternoon with a stronger southwesterly wind. Looks like that sun will last through the day. A cold front moves through this evening. Most areas, though, likely to stay dry. Just a very slight chance for rain along that front. Otherwise, temperatures starting out once again in the 40s tomorrow morning. Definitely cooler tomorrow, but sunshine continuing, and then on Wednesday, that's when things go downhill. We see rain and snow in the forecast, much colder, breezy as well, kind of feeling a little bit more like winter than spring. Here's our pet walk forecast.
No.
What? What is this? Well, I mean, it's a badger, but wow.
Bucky. It's not anywhere around here, it looks like.
No, I don't think so. That must be quite a zoom lens, too. Badgers don't like to get very close to people.
I'm not taking him on a walk today.
Good morning, buddy.
Thank you, Abby.
You're welcome.
He's all stealthy in there, too.
I know.
He's blended in. Morning Sprint's coming up next right here on News 3 Now this morning. 6:51, time for the morning sprint. Hattie has the warmest day of the year before rain and possibly snow. Yes, snow returns later this week.
But we start with Josh Spreiter, who's sharing some scary new numbers on just how unprepared many of us are for retirement. Josh?
Good morning. New research shows about 2 in 5 of us, that's 40%, won't have enough money for retirement if we keep up with the same habits. Today marks the beginning of National Retirement Planning Week, so organizers say this is the perfect time to get started. Everyone's personal finances are different, but any little thing you can do right now will help you prevent from going broke later. Financial experts say you can participate in a 401k plan ASAP while also taking advantage of easy investment opportunities like Roth IRAs. You should also have a separate savings account where you're putting at least 10 to 15% of your take-home pay before you pay the bills.
I think we got probably a 4-minute response time, which is critical to not let the fire keep growing.
We do expect to learn more from Madison firefighters today as they look into what caused a fire at Stulte's Deli on Atwood Avenue last night. There are no sprinklers in that building, so there is some significant damage there. The restaurant was closed at the time. No one was hurt. There's no word on when the deli will be back open.
Officers are asking for your help finding an elderly man from northern Wisconsin. 75-year-old Earl Moore was last seen in Marquette, Michigan, up in the UP on Friday, but he lives in Marinette, Wisconsin, about 3 hours northeast of Madison. Anyone with information is asked to call the Marinette Police Department.
The Catholic Diocese of Green Bay is releasing the name of another priest its leaders say sexually abused a minor. The diocese updated its list to include Raymond Hypus. Now, he allegedly abused a minor in 1964 while serving at St. Mary's Catholic Church in De Pere. The diocese now has confirmed allegations against 47 Wisconsin priests.
And it's the Queen Bee Radio Skycam for the win this morning. A beautiful shot catching the fog close to the ground, but clear skies overhead. So once the sun gets a little higher in the sky, it will work to burn off that fog. But right now, visibility near zero, south and west of Madison. Plan a little extra time to get to your destination. Temperatures will warm from the 40s this morning, back to a high of 70 degrees with sunshine and a southwest wind this afternoon.
Thank you, Hattie. The Chinese woman who's accused of talking her way into the president's Mar-a-Lago resort with a thumb drive full of malware will appear in federal court today. Yujing Zhang is facing charges for entering a restricted property and making false statements to officials. Last week, the president said he's not concerned at all about the security breach, calling it a fluke situation. Democrats are calling for the FBI to get involved.
Secretary of Homeland Security Kirstjen Nielsen is looking for a new job this morning after turning in her resignation yesterday. President Trump tweeted that the U.S. Customs and Border Protection Commissioner Kevin McElin will take over as the acting secretary. It's unclear if Nielsen was forced out or if it was her own decision to leave, though the president had frequently blamed her for some of his frustrations over illegal immigration.
We started seeing a lot of impact with CBD and hemp in our stores. Chronic pain, stress, anxiety, depression.
Those are some of the reasons the store A Healthy Place wanted to start Madison's first ever hemp event this weekend at the Monona Terrace. Experts, retailers, and legislators all took part in panel discussions about CBD and its potential health benefits. The FDA is currently considering how it should be regulating hemp products across the entire country.
For the first time ever, Madison School Board will be entirely made up of women after 3 more were elected last week. Chris Carusi, Ali Muldrow, and Ananda Murilli all beat out their male challengers for seats on the school board. All 3 of them have daughters of their own and are hoping to make changes that the younger generations will notice, including smaller class sizes, more opportunities in the arts, and more support for teachers.
Parents in Columbus will be at tonight's school board meeting to ask for both the board president and the superintendent's resignations. Those parents will present a petition saying they're concerned about their students' safety, problems with the curriculum, inadequate facilities, and poor communication with families. That meeting starts at 7 tonight at the Columbus City Hall.
Parents in Verona are invited to talk about the achievement gap later today. That conversation will address graduation rates, individual education plans, and how you can help students of color and support them. Dane County Circuit Court Judge Everett Mitchell and Verona School Board member Deborah Biddle will lead the conversation. That's happening from 6:30 to 8 at Meadow Ridge Library.
For families in Oregon, there's an opportunity for you to share what you'd like to see at a new public library location. The Village Board has voted to contribute $6 million toward the cost of a new library at the former Methodist Church site, just a couple of blocks away from the current location. Architects will listen to your ideas for the space at 5:30 tonight in the Village Hall's community room.
And a first alert traffic reminder for anyone driving near the UW campus this morning. West Dayton Street will be closed from Charter to North Park Street, so crews can work on a steam tunnel project there. The bike commuter path will be detoured, as well as Madison Metro bus routes. Those should all last until sometime in October.
6:57 your time now. Let's turn it over to Josh Tim with a look at your first alert traffic. Hey, Josh.
Hey guys, still moving all right on the Beltline this morning. No major delays showing up yet in either direction. Inbound side of John Olin, you are starting to tap the brakes at Rimrock and Olin Avenue moving into the downtown area. Verona Road picking up approaching the Beltline ramps, but other routes heading into the city, they're moving at the usual speeds with no major crashes or issues. For your first alert traffic, I'm Josh Tim.
Thank you, Josh.
And it is a relatively mild start to the day, but we are dealing with some fog yet this morning, especially in those lower spots. Be aware of that as you head off to work and school early today. Our temperatures will climb from the 40s this morning to a high of 70 degrees this afternoon. A beautiful day. Enjoy it because things are going to cool down by midweek.
Yeah, very significantly. We have the blinders on this morning, very narrow vision. Have a wonderful day.